A huge shout out to the overthinkers. An overthinker, he watches the show. To the overthinkers, shout out for
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Thando kuphela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamela ubuchopho ngeke buphume buyakhula nizi njani ikhokho yazini as overthink siya overthink.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it. I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
As overthinking siya overachiever. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is Mokwena. I am your host, and this is the place where we can speak about football, starting, of course, with the local football we love, going into Africa, and then every now and then we go into Europe. Now, this, of course, is a Thursday show. The show is on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. Unless Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, King Bafana, Bafana, Style, and UWC are going to be going into the Champions League this weekend. We are going to be here watching those games at that time. And that means that after those games, we have review shows. And this is what today is going to be. Today we're going to be reviewing Pirates versus Richards Bay, where Pirates won 1-0 versus Richards Bay. And then we're also going to look at Sundowns versus Polokwane, a 2-0 win for Sundowns in that game. Remember, this is a very, very, very interactive show, so you can jump in and speak to me. That is the whole point of this. And to do so, for those who are watching on YouTube, you have to join me on TikTok. You have to click on the bottom of the button at the bottom of your screen that says multi-guest. Then you request, I let you in, and you get to tell me what you think. There's going to be 4 panels tonight, 4 panels of 25 minutes each, and then everybody's going to get 5 minutes. So please, stick your point, go to your point, I'll ask you a question or two, and then we'll carry on. Let's tata the scream, guys. Let's tata the scream. The goal for tonight is 60K. So could we please tap the scream to 60K? So I think I'm going to start us off with the Orlando Pirates. I'm going to go and match their order so people don't kill me. I'm going to start us off with Orlando Pirates, the Orlando Pirates team that played versus Richards Bay on Tuesday. Orlando Pirates was 1-0 victors of that game. 18 total shots, 10 on target, 4 shots from Richards Bay, 1 on target. 68% possession for Orlando Pirates versus the 32 for Richards Bay. Richards Bay only completed 261 passes versus Pirates' 571. And that means that Orlando Pirates maintains their number 1 spot. 7 games played, 7 wins, no draws, no losses, 13 goals scored, 2 conceded, and a grand total of 21 points. 21 points earned by the Orlando Pirates up to this point. A perfect start to the season. We'll get into Mamelodi Sundowns and how they're still chasing. Look, I think I love Pirates. I love Pirates in the sense that they are composed this year. I love Pirates in the sense that they're a professional team. They're going out and getting the job done. But clock in, clock out. I love the fact that you're seeing a whole bunch of new players coming in. You're seeing them get trusted. But the big test that Pirates had to show us this season was Random Tuesday versus Richards Bay. Can you win those games? That is how Pirates lost out on the league last year or got that far away from Mamelodi Sundowns. It wasn't that they were outplayed in games. It was more because they had so many games that they gave up points for no reason. So I'm so glad that Orlando Pirates is standing up and they're doing the hard parts. The hard part is gathering points at the beginning of the season to make sure that later on, when it's lit, when you have to go play in Egypt and come back and do all of those things, you have enough points in the bag that you can, relax anyana. A loss isn't so bad. A draw isn't so bad. So I'm enjoying that from Orlando Pirates. And just by the way, Evidence Mahopa is tied for the top goal scorer in the league. A man who hasn't started that many games for Pirates, but every time he's come on, he's taken his chances and even got back to Bafana. So that was all just to intro it. We're going to be speaking Orlando Pirates versus Richards Bay. So Mapagania and those that want to speak about this, please jump in and let's have a conversation about Pagania and how they're doing in the league and how they did in that game versus Richards Bay. If I'm going to speak about the Richards Bay, all I'm going to say about Richards Bay, to be honest with you, is they weren't there. Richards Bay, I think, chose to be more defensive. They didn't have a way to play the ball out. Their midfield, Ngabos Tebe, didn't know whether they were an attacking midfield or a midfield that is hanging back and providing cover for the defense. Unsundwana had a lot to do with Pirates. He was carrying Richards Bay through that game, getting the ball up the left-hand side. Why Unsundwana is still a winger, I don't know. Why Unsundwana is still the guy running up the wing and being expected to put in crosses, I have no idea, but that is where they put him. Remember, guys, we're starting today with the Orlando Pirates. So let me just get the timer up and we can get straight into it. Okay, let me see who's here. Pilogalova, how are you, my brother?
How are you? Are you champ?
Ungang busy. How are you? Oh. I'm good. Pilogalova, tell me, how did you feel about DKB Pirates? Connection. Let's do this. Pilogalova, I'm gonna take you off. Request again and see if you can come back in. Let me go to Velile. Velile, mtakaba.
Greetings from the top. How are you?
Hey, kumnandi, man, by Pirates.
Washo lo mfoko lesitoko sakudala besidlala ngazi igama lathi lokuyini bathi uPonko uyabazi uPonko kade uJordaan Milford basho nina.
Hi, but Segeledi, but Velile, Pirates 1-0. Guys, please mute when you come in. Please mute when you come in. Okay, Velile.
Le Pitso Mosimane, uJordaan Milford
Re tlogeleng Mofatse, re tlogeleng.
Awa re na re siame modimo awa. Re ntse step. Ndakaba kuyaphila kodwa.
Mina ngimnandi Velile ngoff. Siyabraya naturena.
Hayi no into zenu vele lezi kule season eniya offer nina. Yini namalanga amaningi.
Ngene KB but Velile isikhathi yebana.
Nama sick leave amaningi na annual leave. Okay. Ngibingelela abafethu ku panel nalapha kuma comment lapha yana. Ndakaba ekulamalanga Pirates is Lisi Joy.
Yeah.
Sijabulile. Siqale ngendlela ebesifunda ngayo because as I've always said before ukuthi kulonyaka sempini we've been deputy PSL champions for isikhathi eside. So the good thing ukuthi we see the positives. Because now it's a matter of just finding a solution with how do we deal with this situation as us. We've tried in the last 3 seasons. It shows that the only obstacle is one team. At least my says good is still nobody. And how we must challenge the situation. And as we have saying, we are correct because we were lacking a cool madlana la matho mancane. Wona la njengabo Richards Bay, abo Polokwane City, abo la cabanga dlo team ephumile. Cape Town Spurs. Yavuka njengathi nayo nje singazi ukuthi kanjani. So yeah, it was one of those things. I don't this time I don't care. If we get one goal, we beat those teams, so be it, as long as we collect points so that when the schedule says nyana in January, at least ama points are gone. Akusukuthi sazozama futhi kumele sigijimise. But one thing I would like for ucoach Ami to do manje on this one was since sempile kanjena ukuthi khona lapho kumele aqinise khona isandla sometimes and discipline the players. Because you cannot do one thing now and then and expect different results. If you look at indlela ama-player wesathola ama-yellow card ngakhona, it's sometimes it's uncalled for and it's costing the team. Because now you look at what they've got maybe 4th yellow card now. Nhlanhla kathiwa nge-card against Richards Bay because I definitely was going to be suspended against Stellenbosch. But nakhona if idlala Stellenbosch uthole yellow card again is suspended for the next game. So you see also again. Secondly, futhi indaba kaMakhawula. You look at ama yellow card abatholayo. Yeah. Uthola njalo ama yellow card in the same way you could react. He had chance to win the ball. But instead of just clearing it or pass, give it to the opponent, he tried to dribble now and then. And when he dispossessed, he will foul the player and then get a yellow card. Yes, of course, and you can see good he's an important player compared to you see what Mandla Nema case, how do we suffer? Because he's the one who marshaled and protect that defense. If a coach can just put that discipline Emma playing like please guys, Niabon Guti Asnabo, but he need depth or depth. Jenga Bang, he depth. Yeah. Jenga Bang, so so we must always try by all means we will make use of what we have and also protect it. So I think it will be good in that way. Because see as a Simesinzim. So yeah. If we are going to cool kumuli was a yellow card but fine. I hate him when he play totally card for kumuli skipper. I hate it. That one I'm fine for 10,000. Serious.
But do you worry about form of players? Do you worry that maybe Masegunzima, the way Ndalanga Kwan and Shabo Wanil Nizdulele, maybe they're not going to be able to switch it on when they need to? Go.
No, remember, it's not only about form, also injuries and also fatigue and also maybe personal problems can incur. So it's different things that they might happen. But as I've always said, we've been there before. Surely maybe the people who are in the management, they'll find a way to deal with it. Because I've heard people always emphasizing, we've played there for so many years. We've been there, we played 2 years consecutively with players who had no experience before, but they reached final. It was not a miracle, it was a matter of hard work. When about Charlie, about Upa, they've played finally a CAF against Ahly. They've never played it before.
Yeah.
So it's one of those preparation, you just take them serious and also manage. I'm a player on now and then the cut. But it's about. That's why I'm going to I think two Skakuli CAF was at least go CAF. I know good football we played. I let them about Richard Spain, Nabo Tex Galaxy Pagi Pass, Kalanga 10 Jarmadana Bas Katela Benza Zonkel. There they play football, I know. Our my boss of Makelo and Rapago, AFL, by us, Africa. That's all about us too. There we know would at least lay so it's ball I'm talking about. Arsenal King and the foot as Chabless nice joy Arsenal King.
Okay, for his cat. Let me bring in Ubongs. Bongs, welcome to the show.
No,
Asal no was the man. We're still enjoying now. Nguzangu holiday. Guti emailing go to Melanini. Hey, ngiyakele ngizakubona manje. Mase ngibuye.
Induya mlungisi umuntu ngibone ngawo siqondile kulamalanga.
Hey, ngise holiday yini? Ngandaba out of office. Athi bathi ngesilungu out of office. Wabona le question engibuze yona. Pendulum reply ethi out of office. Think back box. Fox, welcome to the show. How are you?
No, I'm fine, bro. You went on to the Ram Camo.
Let's go high, but tomorrow later. Bong, Pirates 1-0. Richards Bay, what is 1K?
Well, Pirates take really 3 points as usual. But only the points so early so that if they go to CAF, but say, no, they are safe. But I hope for their sake, they don't pull an Arsenal on themselves.
Yeah.
Because Bakato by blower because of CAF. Because CAF, Babatlo the first team, we win for the second time as a South African team.
Yeah. Pirates and Hates so as somebody who's on the outside. King a Chinchilenko Pirates. What is the difference this season? Jose Rivero Aikensing in that team.
I feel like Grele first team high, but second team in this Khota Bikinyana Leona, because Wobona never Paralemagesi, but never really the changes say so they got beaten 3-2 in that game. It proves sorry. I was so great second team. Havaka rotator squad because of both fatigue, the injury. It will prove that now Pirates is strong enough for a winner league.
How should it Castambulakai Pirates? Castambulakai, is it going to be a big game? CAF Chiefs, Liverpool Pirates, is it going to be after CAF? Where Kotsi it's a guy for Pirates or Sanseba Shevele Kotsi from Kokai?
traveling ya CAF e tlo bolaya fatigue ya bona. Ke nahana hore CAF e tlo ba main problem ya bona e tlo etsang hore ba stumble in the league.
Ba e lokisa jwang taba eo?
Kore ba tshwantse ba try ho sheba second team hore ba ka sebetsa le yona jwang hore e ska ba team e weak ha ba e sebedisa, so e kgone ho tlo thusa first team hore e wine league.
Okay, jwale Jose, does he still go after this season?
I feel like a ka dula cause o tlisa excitement to the league, o kgona challenger that other one there wa Pyjama FC man Tlokopo man.
Pyjama FC. Okay, no, Bongs. Bongs, what? Okay, Eriko Butseso, what can Chiefs learn from Pirates right now in order for them to get better?
For Chiefs side, now go create a little bit of quality players about to say the young players. It's not like we are bad as a team gonna. We just playing the young players who just need people banning experience to help the youngsters in the team.
So similar to Bonda, Libo Makaula ba.
Because rona re na le coach sharp, ke happy ka coach le mosebetsi wa so far, but there's still a lot of work in our side to re ka ba good re ka compete le team tse tshwanang le Pyjama FC le Orlando Pirates.
Okay, no, Bongs. Erike Kenya Machoro, welcome to the show. How are you? Machoro?
Chakrut Monarge.
Man, Kimnati man. Plele Machoro, Pirates 1-0 Richards Bay. Orinka ki.
Yeah, game ki boni. Game I'm maybe for the 3 points. The reason why I say I'm maybe for the 3 points, Zoga level like Orlando Pirates even that tendency ya go lose the points against those teams from the lower division coming to the PSL League, and then lose the points from them, withdraw, so I got to check most of them. So I was very much happy for the win, really 1-0 3 point, and then the way Baral that is Richards Bay, and we were playing at home. They were playing their game, and they were doing well, very well. It's just like sometimes the goals are not there with the luck of the players that they were playing. Maybe they were not having the luck enough for the day. But they played very well if I check. And then the other thing, I believe all the players, if you can check now, Orlando Pirates players, they have that winning mentality. I think they have learned from Mamelodi Sundowns players. You can check. They have that winning mentality, guys. If it's not me, who else can do this? You don't need others. Let's just fight for the badge. Let's just go. Let's just win, and then that is the case. 3 points is very important. Goal. Remember the Orlando Pirates coach last season just said this: that if you want to win the league, avoid to lose.
Yeah.
Yes, I think now the players are motivated enough. If you can check it, it is not easy to select a man of the match in Orlando Pirates team. If you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, those players, they have improved a lot. Come from my side, because if you can see, in court of the work reading chance at the time Salenga on that magazine game, you saw he added the value. Now it is the challenge for Salen to get the first 11. Yes. You can see all those young stars when they get the chance, they're using, or every player that's coming from the bench and giving the chance is there to give 100%. So you can see the winning mentality is there.
Can I ask, Machoro, is this style of play, Pirates, that they have this season, is it sustainable? Because you're scoring a goal, you're doing Boma 1-0, 2-1, or 1-0, 2-0. So what happens when you meet a good team in the CAF Champions League? Isn't it harder to score that goal, or maybe Talentemba does not his day that day, or Mahupa doesn't get a rebound? Should Paris be worried about the scoring?
I think some of the thing, I think like the scoring, yes, we will, as a supporters, will just be happy, like we won and 3-0, but if you can check and analyze the game, like it is not convincing, really. It's not giving that thing, like they have to score, because they sometimes get the clear chance, and they don't score, but they will come, the ball is difficult, and they score that ball. You see, they are losing the simple scoring opportunity to come and score with a difficult one. If you can see, on that game, Saleng, he got the simple opportunity that you were supposed to score, but he didn't.
So
Like,
is there a
for us,
worry
we'll
that
be happy that we won, but the worry is the scoring, that we need to score more goals. Like really, we and we have that chance. It doesn't mean we don't have. We really have, but they don't take those chances. And if we can, for now, we can go and go, but it will give us a big problem. It will give us a big problem, especially on CAF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, how do you fix that problem then? Because Kyo Mahupauteng, top goal scorer, Kyo Mabasa, I think he was top goal scorer last year. Lepasa was doing well.
I think that from my side, it's not like it's about a favorism, but it's about how my viewpoint on my strikers, on Orlando Pirates strikers. Then, but to be honest, I think Mabasa was good enough to be the first choice, because he can score from any angle, and then like he know the time, he got the timing of this time. I can score from this, I can turn from this, I can if you really can check those games that he played and analyze them, just checking those tactics, is tactically enough to be our first choice striker. Yes.
Okay. No,
I think
I
think the coach can check that thing.
No, Majoro, thank you so much. Let me go to Malume Kuzo. Before I go to Malume Kuzo, I know you're going to highlight this, Malume Kuzo. Pirates had 10 shots on target, 18 shots, 10 on target, whereas Richards Bay had 4 and 1. One of the things that Pirates is doing very well this season is they've scored 13 goals. Only team that has outscored them is Sundowns with 15, but they've only conceded 2 in the 7 games that they've played. So they're doing something right. But let me go to Malume Kuzo. Malume Kuzo, welcome. How are you?
Besengikumele ngithi kanjani when Sundowns only had 5 shots on target, kanjani when we had double that number, well, they had double the goals, but I will also take you back to Amazulu. Wenzeni unkotha, how many clear chances did he get? You understand? So the 1-0 that we are nicking, well, it's not 1-0, it's only 1-1. I think the others are 2-0. But anyway, the low scoring wins that we are getting, I think it's a better way of putting it, are not the same as the Mamelodi Sundowns last year.
Okay.
Away to Mr. OT are down to poor finishing. And a corner when you're this Pitso speed time. Magafonelo loya muntu loya lo asizulipasa. Magabuye for another month or a week. Azofaka machita akhona ukhuphula i-conversion rate. The positioning is good, the chance creation is there. What's lacking, it's the more barking lethal or baibitang. I just forgot the term. It's a very common term in football to say you are using all of your chances. Ruthless. That's all that's lacking, Mr. OT. It's not the chance creation. What I'm worried about is 16, man. Angoni 16. You know, it's so easy up front to say if Lepasa is not, if Mabasa is not there, Makopa is there. If Kanakimang Saleng Kota, you know, those subs, you can make them yourself. But a 16 lapa man, eh? Abaka team man, it came time, man. Abaka last 10 minutes. I'm worried, Manori, who's gonna replace him and who's gonna replace Salentembata. when the time comes, when injuries come, you understand. Talent Mbata was injured. I'm going to show you Pole no Pola. Saturday, buya skimming daughter. Gigamo share, you understand. So thinking I am and those who are saying Pirates might drop because of injuries, the same might happen to Sundowns. Their playmaker is aging. Their thing. Bamitsang etsang design ka matso parang clave wa ke soring Pico orchestra. Bamitsang the conductor. Their conductor is aging. As a Akandega, and he likes attracting pressure. As a Akandega biga one, Sundowns will be in trouble. And by the conductor, I'm not talking about Themba Mshishi's one. I am talking about Ronan Williams. If Ronan Williams anganyatela biga one, then you will see which will last born. That Sundowns is in trouble. And he is aging, let's not forget. And he is being abused. And as Bafana, we will add to the abuse. Like Ronan Williams, Mr. Oti. We've seen Sundowns without Ronan Williams. It's bad. It's bad. The players don't know whether or up. You know when Ronan Williams has the ball, Mr. Oti. Ukichima upegna se move. Ugiyo space to assume position. But Onyango has a polo. Umasa slow or hey. It don't fit the polo A or it don't pass the opponent. You understand? So that will come into play, Mr. Oti. Laba abasi Pirates ya pora. Watch the entertaining teams and enjoy them. Mufukeng will trend. Nkota will trend. Skomota will trend. And Masonga will trend while playing football, which puzzles me. I don't know, Ganja.
But I wanted to ask you something, Malume Kuzo. On Pirates and rotating and giving players game time. Has Jose gotten maybe to the point where the pressure, or not the pressure, but the momentum now maybe asks for you to carry on with this group of players, if I can put it like that, and maybe it could be risky to rotate?
Well, it depends, Mr. OT. We do try and rotate, but at the same time we try and create relationships. You understand? The rotation of players who have played together for 5 years or more is different to the rotation of players who have played a lesser number of years. So the use of mokwena and Motaung and I just forget the other Mudiba does not come from a week's work if they have not been in the lineup for 2 games. It comes from the back of 10 years if I extend it to Super Sport. But if I'm limiting to Sundowns, it comes from 5 years, you know, Mr. OT. So in as much as it's rotation and all of that, it's not the same. Hey, Mr. OT,
For time. Let me go to Umpilo Galova. So grand.
I think grand champ.
Okay, no, alandila macoin wako wabekile phone. No, I'm kidding. How did you feel about this game?
No, Pirates deserve a 3 point on Tuesday because Brandon Truta came for a point. He didn't came for 3 points. We saw that they came with a strategy of defending throughout the game. So even though we won 1-0, I'm happy because Richards Bay is giving Pirate troubles, you know.
Yeah.
So collecting 6 points to Richards Bay, it shows that we won this league.
Do you think? Let's talk about the Richards Bay. I like that you brought it up. Just a little bit. Say Richards Bay. Do you think they've gotten better from Caetano through to Coach VV, Coach Kanu, through now to Brendan Truta, or is it just the same team?
I think from Kanu was the best. Between Kanu and Brendan Truta, I still rate Kanu because Kanu was doing things. Things were happening when Kanu was there because they were scoring goals. Those guys. Yeah. But now Brendan Truta there's no direction in that team. You remember last Saturday they were playing Cape Town City in a Canning Black Label. They didn't score. It was 0-0. They won on penalties. So like even on Saturday, I don't think Richards Bay can beat is TS Galaxy, ne?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, it's TS Galaxy. It's TS Galaxy. I don't think they can beat TS Galaxy because TS Galaxy they're on form.
Okay. Let's go back to let's go back to Pirates. What is Jose doing right this season? What is Jose doing, man?
You remember when he was interviewed going to the final of Nedbank Cup, talking about the 23-point gap. You remember what did he said? He said Sundowns, Mamelodi Sundowns is a point. They are a point machine. They don't lose. They are the point machine. So it was a wake-up call for him. During the 2 seasons, he's with us. He knew that in the 3rd season, to be there on top, we must collect points. We must not drop points. We must make sure we collect points. So he has done his studies, our plumber, we are happy. Pirate was not consistent before like the current one. Pirate this season is consistent.
Yeah.
Pirate is consistent. About dropping points is not going to be easy.
Okay.
My only concern, Mr. OT, is when Tito gets injured, who is going to save us there? Because it's only position of Tito, number 10, that is giving me problem. If Tito is suspended, 3 yellow cards, or Tito is injured, who's going to carry Pirate?
Yeah.
That's my only concern. But I'm happy in all departments.
So then, tell me, is this a good thing for Pirates that they're winning 1-0, 2-0? Can it be sustainable for the season? Because I maybe get the feeling that if they don't score one day, it might become a little bit tough, especially because their goals are not necessarily coming from play, if that makes sense.
Yesterday I was talking with Lady D. I told her that, you know what, I'm worried. I'm worried because we are not scoring.
Yeah.
And then we are creating, but we are not scoring. So I don't know who's in charge of the Department of the Striking Force of Pirate in training, because we saw that Mabasa he does not have the confidence anymore, because of maybe they chose Mwanasesi ahead of him for the starting 11. Even Mabasa, when he comes in, I know that Mabasa is not going to score. He's not confident. So I told myself that we must rely, and then there's nothing we can do. We must rely on those boys to score for us.
Okay.
Really, Nkota and Bata.
No, Pidogalova, for time's sake, I'm gonna let you go. I gave you that extra time there. Taki, Pilo. We're gonna go into the next topic, the next panel, guys. The next panel, we're going to be speaking again still about Pirates and Richards Bay. Mamelodi Sundowns, we're gonna start that chat at 8 p.m. Tata scream, guys. Tata scream. And Kupari gift. Somebody asked what the gifts are for. Guys, when you send gifts, we can actually cash them out. But the gifts, it's like 10 cents per heart. So the more the gifts we get and all of that stuff, we can also use those. So please, guys, support, man. Support. Sendang dilo, man. Sendang dilo. Okay, let me see who's here, because Pelelane was here. Okay, let me start with Ubito waka, mkhaya waka. Mokwena Henny, how are you?
I'm good, my brother. I'm good. My brother, Mina, I'm concerned here. I'm hearing that you are speaking about the Orlando Pirates and so on. They are doing very well. Yeah. I don't deny that one, my brother. But Mr. O, I'm concerned with my home team, man. I think this year we are going to be relegated.
Oh, you have to
TS
speak
Galaxy
about
this year.
Yeah. Okay, let me do that. I'll give you some time to speak about TS Galaxy.
Okay.
Coach resigned. What happens now?
You know, that's a problem with our team, man. You are replacing. If you can check in the PSL, there is no team that hasn't. Wonke lama team and a TS Galaxy team and a TS Galaxy player. But now you don't replace those players with quality players. How will you expect the coach to perform if you are not doing that? We knew before that the coach is gonna resign because if you can check it, game a pirate when Slala the pirate, that coach automatically by then because I am billing for it. So now the Mpumalanga is gonna be back to a drawing board. Remember, in Mpumalanga we've got only one team that is representing us. So now we are losing.
Yeah. So then how much, let me ask you, how much does the Morocco thing from the beginning of the season play into what happened here?
Yeah, Hello?
No, I can hear you. Oh, Henny. Guys, actually, look, guys. For me, if you do want to come in and speak about one of the other teams that's not Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns, I think we need to give ourselves space to do that. So I'll see if we can't get Henny back in, but we'll continue on with the Orlando Pirates. Ashwin, how are you doing? Welcome.
I'm not out somewhere now.
Mina go holiday. Go holiday. Ashwin, 1-0 Pirates Richards Bay. What did you think of the game?
It was a very big and strong game for my side. Pirates, it's a very strong team this season.
Yeah.
I'm a Kosi fan, but then you won't shy away from that. It's very powerful and very strong. 7 games, 7 wins. The end result, it's what matters. How did you score, on what terms? No, it doesn't matter that much. But then the end result is what matters. They brought those individuals knowing that they will do something. If there is no plan, they will score. I remember, so on the game, I feel as if Pirates faced a challenge because Richards Bay was way defending. Full 90 minutes it was defending. It's the goalkeeper's mistake which led to a goal.
Yeah.
It was not easy to break them. Most of the time when you play on the other side or play with the ball on their own half, they'll be always behind the ball. So it's not easy to break 8 players with basically 5 attacking players. How will you break them? It's way very difficult. So they used to, if you watch the game very well, each and every time, if they are not 6, there will be 5 on the line. Their wing will drop back. So how are you allowing players to play if you are basically 6 or 5 at the back and having your holding midfielder assisting, having your attacking assisting? Sitebo most of the time was on the defense.
Yeah.
Most of the players were always only one striker which was left that side. 1 or 2. 1 on the left, 1 on the right. Just to go out. You see, but most of the time they were defending. So on my side, Pirates played a very good game. It was a very good game. Unfortunately, it was not simple to break them because you won't be breaking a team which is playing 8-1.
Can I ask you? So from what you're saying, is Pirates going to run into the same problem that Mamelodi Sundowns ran into at some point in the season, where teams came out in a low block and they just survived? They just tried to survive the game. Do you think that Pirates is going to struggle when they get to teams like that, when the lucky goal is not coming, or the keeper mistake or something like that is not coming?
On my side, I will say, yes, they will face those problems. Small teams defending on them. Don't forget they have strong attackings. look, the likes of Mufokeng. You get the likes of Mufokeng, the likes of Saleng, the likes of Tito Masongai, the likes of even their bench. It's way beautiful. You take out very good people, bringing back very good people. So a lot of teams will defend on Pirates, but still Pirate will always win, because if out of 100 I always have 80% I'm having the ball, chances of me scoring is very high, because I always have the thing which both of us we need. When you won't be defending the whole game and not make a mistake, it's a pity to those teams which will defend and make it.
Okay.
But having the likes of Mbata, you will make a mistake, he will shoot, and you will take out a very good thing. He's good in shooting. So the individuals which Pirates has, automatically you have a goal. Even if you don't depend on those strikers. Don't forget, Makgopa is always at the right point to finish. Even his goals are not that good. But bear in mind, that guy knows to get rebounds.
Yeah.
He knows how to get rebounds. If you can look at all his goals, they're not that beautiful, but most of the goals are rebounds. He's always in a very good position to get the rebounds. So on my side, I think the first round, they might collect all the points, because don't forget, it's hard to beat Pirates were at Orlando. Most of the games they played were at home. So they collected most of them. All the games they collected their points, all home ground points they collected. When they go outside, it's either a win or a draw. They are fine, because they collected back at home. So first round on, I feel as if they will collect, because a lot of teams are still sleeping.
Okay.
A lot, because bear in mind, if you go now, they will go on when they go meet Magis. I don't think they will do the same mistake. They will punish.
For time's sake, Ashwin, I'm just gonna have to jump in so that I can get everybody else in. Thank you so much for that, the contribution. Let me go to Pelelani. Thank you, Ashwin. Pelelani, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, siyaphila futhi uthi unjani?
Mina relaxile, kumnandi, angidlali ngizonibona end of November. Tell me,
No.
Pirates 1-0.
No. Siyabingelela hayi ngoba nakusichukuluza. Siyabingelela.
Uthi ke game from Pelelani.
Yebo. Yeah, bebezwe. Hayi but uthi i-game yona kade imnandi, kodwa ki Pirates izohamba ibe inkinga, cause onke ama-team analomqondo ukuthi siyo defend, iwona futhi kuphinde kubaqhathe nanenduku-ke lokho. But ngoba khona usiswesh phezulu uzongivumela into ade ngiyibona ishoda ke-Orlando Pirates ukushutha bengaphandle kwebhokisi. Sebeku-introduceile so amanye amagoli sebezowathola ngakho lokho.
Manje, Leon, can you play that way all season long? Pelelani, lento uthi inloku ngithola ama-1-0 amagoli akhona abuya from Umbatha, mhlawumbe deflection ingene enetini, or uMakgopa pounces on a mistake. Already I think he's pounced on 2 other mistakes. Nizokhona ukuyidlala leyo nto for the whole season leyo game?
Hayi, musu kuyibeka kabi uthi kutholwa ama-rebound, isuke ifostiwe leyo rebound leyo, akuvele kuthiwa miyikhipha, isuke ifostiwe leyo rebound leyo. So lokho kukhombisa ukuthi into abasuke beyiyele egroundini ngaleso sikhathi bayifuna ngayo yonke indlela abangayithola ngayo. So bona mabengena egroundini basuke bengenele u-3 point, noma ngathi u-3 point siwuthola nge-penalty, as long as ku-3 point sifuna u-3 point kuphela thina.
Okay. The reason why ngikubuza is that I see ngiyayizwa lento ekhulumayo, but what happens then mawudlala low block and alizi leyo goal, do you worry maybe ukuthi abomfukeng njengoba they're getting these chances and missing, ukuthi there's going to come a time where kufuneka bona ukuthi bangene and they won't have leyo nto? Because already now ishaye 10 shots on target Pirates, mare ihambe nge-1 goal igoli lakaMakgopa. So are you worried maybe, or is there a worry ukuthi laba abanye won't be able to switch it on? Masekumele sibize bona.
Hayi ngeke kuze kwenzeke kanjalo because mawuthatha ukubabheka kuya kuya ngibona ukuthi kuya ngokuthi umdlali uyufakwe nini because uKabelo Dlamini umqalisa igame akakuniki lobo uKabelo Dlamini abese owe second half uyayibona yona kuya ngokuthi lo mdlali ufakwe nini.
Okay, Wesh.
So nase Africa ngiyanizwa nithi hayi sohamba sishaye amateam ase Africa are open. Open ayakwazi ukudlala ibhola leli esikwazi ukuthi sikushaye ngalo because laba abanye sebevele beqinisa isisu beqinisa emuva zivalekile ayisekho into esisuyidlala.
Let me bring you Wesh. Wesh, how are you?
OT, hamba kanjani?
Ngimnandi Wesh. 1-0 Pirates.
Ikona besikufuna. 1-0, 3 points, go home. I will always appreciate 3 points, bruh. And ngiyakuzwa ubuza ukuthi amagoli, you understand? Amagoli awezi and amagoli siyawafuna. And the difference here mina engiyibonayo ngendaba yamagoli ukuthi we put ourselves in goal scoring positions, 10 shots on target. That is positive. Ukuthi abantu bayageja does not necessarily mean we do not create goal scoring opportunities. We are creating enough okusho ukuthi uCilo angathuka ezishayise endukwini. That is deep Zulu, I know for you, but kungenzeka igoli liqhamuke because we create opportunities and that is appreciated. Ukuthi uNkota uyageja, it's okay, but I would be very worried ukube we do not create those chances because that means we don't put ourselves in a position where we can score. Because igoli liqhamuka noma kanjani, and if you create those opportunities, then that's more than enough of success for you to convert. So we need to go back and be more clinical, and lawo magoli siwakore. But I don't think it's a matter of being worried ukuthi we are not scoring ngoba siya creator, siyangena eboxini, siyaba in opportunities for us to score.
Wesh, what are the differences between Pirates last year and this year? What is Coach Jose doing differently this year with the Pirates? Maybe you could help us out and break it down there a little bit. Uthi, what's the change that we're seeing right now?
It's lineup, bruh. He got it right. He has a lineup. He has a spine. He has the team. He knows. Guti. We also know at home. We've got Sipo Chaine. We've got Da or Sesana. Singene Center. We've got the core of the team. We've got Makaula. We've got Mabasa or Mahopa. Then we can build around the team. At least you have your first 6 people on the lineup. Anything else that comes, then comes. I think that's what he got right. Because in other seasons, he's been trying to introduce this and that, and it was taking a toll on the team. I think now you can stay at home and uthi, okay, cool, Orlando Pirates is playing today. And usunga igesa a lineup. Usekaya, and at least you can say about 5-6 that are gonna be on the lineup.
How do you think Jose must handle rotation? Linda by rotation, because as you're saying now, he's got the team, he knows the team, but you can only play so many games. How should he handle rotation going forward?
I think that's where it's at right now. Under pressure, you've
Yeah.
already won 7 games. You wanna make it to 10 games, and he doesn't know how to. He's been trying to give Abantu Boma 10, 15, and it's getting really difficult now to say uzoyenza kanjani leyo nto. I think unenkinga njengamanje ukuthi how to do that without ukuyishaya kakhulu team and still consistently awuthole wonke ama-points.
Yeah.
I think kuzomele aqhubeke nabo o 15 20 30, because he gave Nkota a couple of minutes waphinde wambuyisa, and manje usecisha yomqedisa game, which is good because we know what we can get from him while we still have an experienced player, which is Usaling on the side, who can occupy the position makufika isikhathi where we really need him. But for other positions, he still needs to introduce people gradually. Boma 20 minutes, especially our striking position. I think we need the other boy to come in, the young I forgot his name.
Umabasa.
The young boy to come in. No, Umabasa, you know what he can give you.
Okay.
We also know Mahopa what he can give you. There's this other young boy, I cannot remember his surname.
Bazosifakela lapha ema-commentini.
To come
Or
in
Radio
so
Pani,
they
there we
can
go.
see. Radio Pani, yes, for us to see what he can give us. Even if it's like you're 20, because kusazoshuba, games are still coming in. We're gonna need those players, you know. We know now we have Nkota, we have and there is no any other way we could have seen that if Azanga Badlali they introduced. Yabo. And that's the only way you can do it, is to introduce players so that you can see where you are with them, Zobatola in Maubading, and yeah, I think that's where it's at.
What's the ceiling for Pirates, Wesh? Ngoba hey, there's CAF, abantu bakhuluma nge-CAF, bakhuluma nge-league. Then you win the MTN 80. Sakhona abo Nedbank Cup. What do you believe you should aim for as a Pirate?
I think Orlando Pirate needs to take it one game at a time and collect those points Gule League. And if we could have a better chance of Tateni League, advance CAF would be I don't know what's on the cake, because if we consistently, if Orlando Pirates could get 10 games straight on 30 points, that would be us heading to like the right direction, because I think we do need to win this league. Those 4 cups this guy has won us from a figure that season, last season, and njengamanje siyitholile MTN 8. He's capable of going for the actual thing, which is the league, and I think that's where he is at, and I would really appreciate
Hey, Wesh? Okay, let me see. I think we've lost Wesh. Guys in the comments, you can still hear me, right? I'm still fine. Sorry, we've got some tanda up epitori, but it's okay. Let me jump in then. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Yeah, I still think Orlando Pirates needs a midfielder that can do both. That can play and defend and protect that defense. If we can get that, because njengamanje kumele usebenzise uMakhawula ukuthi amake, then usebenzise uMbatha to play. And what if you can get someone who can do both, and you can use 2 creative people in front of the person? That would be cherry on top. And if you can get that person, ukuthi uMakhawula maye ngekho, we still have a person okwazi ukudlala nokumaka. Yabo, because you can see uMakhawula maye ngekho, we can play better. Uma uDlamini ekhona, let's say you are using uDlamini as umdlalisa nombatha, we can play, uyahamba uyolanda ibhola, do all the beautiful things, but can he defend and protect that defense? he can hardly do. So we cannot have my players. You rather have a player that can do both. Honestly, I would prefer that.
Before I let you go, I want to ask you: do you have a player in mind, or examples of those players? And would you take Bongani Zungu at Pirates?
He with his experience, he could do. I don't know about him as a person, but him as a footballer, those kind of players, the Andile Jali kind of players. Obviously, I'm not talking about him. You know, the Mokeke kind of player, the guy who used to be at Cape Town City, who could just stand there in front of your defense and protect it when you need those passes. You still can. I hear people saying Goodman Musele is there. Goodman Musele is there. He hasn't got enough games with Orlando Pirates. Probably he could be a better fit too. I would really love for us to have a player who can do both, man, as a midfielder. It works better if you have that, because you can use all your offensive players anyhow without iwari yoguti. If ungabeka nje sibonele kunebhola ithe iqala igame who Makaula got
a yellow card.
He was passed a ball on his feet. He lost that ball because of, you know, the obvious. He played udlala ball simple, and I like that for him. Udlala ball simple, but there are instances where you really wanna pumangaya and you cannot, because you know his capabilities, and I'm really happy that we know what he's capable of doing, and we are using him to his advantage. But
for time wash, I'm gonna jump in. We're going to, guys, the people are in the comments, please. We're going into Mamelodi Sundowns now. So if you're in the request right now, know that we're going to speak Mamelodi Sundowns. That is what we're going to start now at 8 o'clock. This is all I want to say about Orlando Pirates. He answered the question. I am one of the people that have said that Pirates was way too good to be 23 points away from Mamelodi Sundowns. And what was said about Orlando Pirates was that Orlando Pirates, it was not losing games because they were outplayed or the other team was just better than them. You could tell the Pirates. You could tell the Pirates on the day. If you listen to Abo Malume Kutso before the games, there's a mood. I used to say that Pirates is an emotional team. There was a mood where Cape Town Spurs is going to win this game. You can't explain why. You don't know what's happening. They get there. They're not into the game. They're not there. They lose. They lose in Jeb Zappa out of the blue. And then now you go. That was what was hurting Pirates. It wasn't the games versus Chiefs. It wasn't the games versus Mamelodi Sundowns. It wasn't the games versus Stellenbosch. As Pitso always says. Pitso always says, you don't need to beat Sundowns to win the league. Right? It's these games. And I think what's incredible about Pirates at this point for me is that they are winning those games. And the only question is, how long can you continue this type of consistency? And it doesn't mean that you have to go and win 29 games. Sometimes you just need to, at times, turn a loss into a draw and a draw into a win. And you go from there. So we'll see what happens with Orlando Pirates. I'm excited. I'm not a Pirates fan, but I'm excited because just a couple of weeks ago, I gave a speech here speaking about the Pirates and how they've got so much potential that they're not tapping into. And it felt like it's just a mental thing, a Pirates. So I'm so happy to see them do this, because as much as I'm saying that these wins, in Alubulaki, man, Bola Shapa keeper, it takes it out to the guy, he scores, or it's a long shot from Umbata, it deflects right, it goes in. Sundowns was doing that last season. A lot of those Sundowns games were low block games where they now, a defender slips or it hits somebody's knee, or you start creating that luck for yourselves with how much you want the game. So we're still going to see. We're still going to see what's going to happen. But it's those coins. Which coins? Nami ngiphethelami. Ngifuna ukuthi nithathe screen. Touch screen, guys. 60,000 is all I ask. Let's tap the screen. And then Also the gifts, guys, the gifts, like I said, it's actually around 1 cent. So each gift that you see there in the thing is around 1 cent. So the accumulation is what helps. So every time you guys send hearts and things like that, end of the month, all of those things add up. So please, sendang, man, sendang. Okay, we're getting into Mamelodi Sundowns. So please remember, if you are in the queue right now, we're speaking Mamelodi Sundowns. Let me do this. Okay. So next hour, 2 panels, five speakers each. Everybody's gonna get 5 minutes, and then we're gonna go from there. 5 minutes, and then we're gonna go from there. 5 minutes, and then we're gonna go from there. And then we're gonna go from there. Oh, I hope Rita, that problem is not something that's gonna stay with us. Okay, let me see. Apologies, guys, just getting everybody in. Okay, Rita, welcome to the show. How are you? Hello, Rita. Okay, we'll come back. Request again. Let me go to Tyler. Tyler, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Hey, good evening, OT. How are you?
I'm good. Before I jump in with you, Tyler, let me just run through the game. Sundowns won 2-0 versus Polokwane City. They had 12 shots, 5 on target. Polokwane had 6 shots, 2 on target. Sundowns, 72% of the possession, 669 passes versus Polokwane's 28% possession with 253 passes. Mamelodi Sundowns now sits number 2, 7 games played, 6 wins, no draws, 1 loss that came versus the same Polokwane City. 15 goals scored, 4 conceded, which means they've scored more goals, but they've got the same goal difference as Orlando Pirates, and they sit on 18 points. So 3 points behind Pirates in the race for the league. Tyler, welcome.
No, I think, OT, I'm about to say something that will make our agent to jump with joy, OT. I was the first one, agent will tell you, I used to be very, very vocal against Mangoba. But I've watched him. I've watched the rotations that, and why the reasons behind that, And to me, when I looked at that, he's trying to show us the shortfalls Rulani in the previous season, because Rulani used to play with one squad, and now right there towards the end of the season, and you're playing Champions League, you've played, a lot of games. Abu Mudao, now they are injured. You have to write memos to them telling them you die for them, because you don't have that depth, and you didn't create that depth. So you then end up playing with the same players, and even if you're trying to rotate by then, the quality seems to drop. That's why you saw them losing matches, right towards the end of the season. So even himself, he said, you know what, he's happy that he's given a lot of players game time, so that by this time of the season, when they're going towards Champions League, they are always planning ahead. Their planning is towards Champions League, because that is the space they are operating in. Even the player acquisitions should tell you that that is where they want to compete, not in the PSL. They don't have a competitor here. Even Orlando Pirates is not their competitor, because they know Pirates is here to play Stellis. We look at the stats when Pirates play against Stellis. They are yet to play Cape Town City. They seem to struggle against those teams. They are yet to play Chiefs twice, and they might pick up a draw there. They are yet to play them as Sundowns twice. it's either they will lose one of those games, you know. So they are not worried about that. They are planning towards the Champions League. And what a time to be alive when OT to witness young stars with quality and good education, football education. You see that boy Khoza. That is the future for Bafana. You see that Letlaho, that is the future for Bafana. The president Yama 2000, that is the future for Bafana. You know, our football in the next years is in good hands when OT. And thanks to Mangoba for giving these young players a chance to do that. And now everybody is getting a chance when OT to play. That creates that competition in the team. And when you are training, you are not only training because you just came to the training. You train because you know it might be your chance next week. Kudos to Coach Mangoba for showing maturity and sticking to his word, despite us batching him and all of that. Kudos to him.
I wanted to ask you, in comparison, now you have Rulani, who maybe didn't score as much, but didn't concede, whereas Sundowns now, for example, it's not a heavy margin, but they've conceded 4 up to this point, and part of that was the loss to Polokwane a couple of weeks earlier. Is that a worry, maybe, that you have to look out for that type of thing, that maybe this Sundowns, as attacking as they are and great as they are, they concede?
Yes, it's something to look into as a coach, but at the same breath, you need to also look what you are doing right, because they are scoring goals. The guy is adamant. He's saying, even if they are winning 4, I want more. If you get the chance to get more goals, give me more goals. And I've looked at his history. Even when he was at Arrows, there was a time he won 6-something, you know.
6-0.
Yeah, he's a coach that loved that and that enjoy playing football and winning football with huge margins. So by the time when you are coming back as an opponent, you are 4-0 down, right? And they will be defending in the last 80 minutes. They are defending that 4-0. There's no way you can score 4-0 against them. They can just put a low block and just kill the game. And that is exactly what those teams in Africa, that's what they are doing. They score a goal and they kill the game. They're playing ugly like that. So he's trying to engrave that to his players, to say, this season, we look what we have done wrong last season. Last season, we played with the same players throughout, and we got punished, you know? And this is the type of football we were playing last season. We're not going to play that football. Our football is direct, and our football is scoring more goals.
Thank you, Tyler. Let me bring in Endis. Endis, welcome to the show. How are you? Endis. Let me see if you can't help there. Okay, we'll come back. Khatiso, are you with me?
Greetings, sir.
How are you, my brother?
I'm good.
Mamelodi Sundowns 2-0 Polokwane City. Where are we sitting with this game? I'm fine. I'm amazing, my guy. I'm perfect.
Thank you. Greetings to all people and all the final and all people in a panel. My take, I'm happy for youngsters. I'm very happy for youngsters.
OT.
Okay.
Endis, I'm gonna come back. Let me let Khatiso go, then I'll come back to you.
I'm very happy with. I'm very happy with youngsters. I'm so happy with youngsters. You know that boy Litlak, when he performs like this, it grooms Ama 2000 who are coming. Which is really possible to get a chance at the age of 18, 19. You understand? I think now development is doing well for now, because if I can check our future, Abo Vilakazi, Abo Mapena, Abo Mfukeng is doing well. So iyabonisa ukuthi these youngsters, when they get the opportunity, they grab it with two hands. And let me go again to Sundowns. I saw their weakness, Izolo. And not only Izolo, from ama game lawa badliwe, is that ama defender wabo, they are very, very slow. OT. And the person who plays a very, very big role in Sundowns. Yes, I want but high Sundowns in the quality, in a depth, we agree, we 100% agree, as argue, but there was this player, though, that's why he was mentioned Kupalando. That is Williams. That guy, if I get OT, I'm telling you, once about to totally injured, Sundowns is going to struggle. It's not to I'm saving goals. No, the player. Because if you do OT, there was an opportunity there. The striker there, Polokwane City, where lahleli bhola kuye agijima ashiya ama defender we Sundowns. Then the way Williams aphume ngakhona, that shows alertness. And he's not been doing that in the game as well. So many games. Kapa has saved his Sundowns with kind of the situation anjalo. Even against Chiefs, there was a game against Chiefs in a league. Angisakumbula who made a run somewhere that wapuma. That's why I'm saying that person, Williams, that's why he plays a very big role and a leadership in that back four. You understand? I'm telling you, you are on the Sundowns, I'm telling you now, people, they might think I'm crazy. If Williams Sangeko, they're going to be in trouble. I'm telling you, that's the only player. Even if he's not there, I'm telling you, there's going to be problems. And second,
I just wanted to ask you something before you move on.
Yeah.
When we talk about the weaknesses of Sundowns, is it why aren't teams exploiting those weaknesses? Because you look at Polokwane, they had two really fast players, Chauke and Apolis. For some reason, they were playing Apolis deep. They weren't letting Chauke come out as many times. Why is it that teams are not exploiting them and going for them, number one, and then number two, is it maybe because of a fear factor now that Sundowns has after all of these years?
For me, I think can I analyze manje this season for me, where's the weakness? Because if some games, most of the team bafuna take Sundowns counter attack. So umuntu stopper those counter attacks, Williams, if you can check. I'm not joking. If you can check from my game with Sundowns, mostly I'm a counter press. Williams is we are Puma lap. You understand? Because of they are very I'm a defender, but they are very, very slow. I saw Izolo, Polokwane, even against Stellenbosch. And those games Sundowns are games where Williams is not there.
Yeah.
It shows he plays a very, very big role in that goalkeeping department. And I'm not Vim. I'm not talking about only saves. He's a player. That's why he won. The winner football of the season was not a fluke. Was not a fluke. That guy plays a very, very big role with Sundowns. Then let me go to. I hope I answer your question.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, let me go to number two. Lento Leo rotate squad there. Yes, it works for Umanova, but he gamble.
Okay.
In a second thing, he gamble because of those where you're going to need a squad sako song. Because let me make an example. OT. Yes, abantu bayakhala bathi Pirates doesn't have equality njenge Sundowns. But if you can check, there is Sundowns. It's how many years back to win the Champions League? 2016. But they have quality, they have class, they have so many players, but still they fail. Let me make a simple example, like PSG, like Manchester City, it win the Champions League with those qualities. So Lento for me, it doesn't matter. You understand? What matters plays, because let me make an example. I know I have to talk about Sundowns, but
very quickly,
let me go to Pirates. Fast, Google Pirates. Let me make an example. They say Unda, Jose Rivero Pega, a rotation with Sharanjan, Nama Injar. Let me make an example. Unda nebate high, if Unda ngeko, angeke sodliwa because that plays a good goal. Look at CBC. Abantu bathi hayi CBC is not comfortable with ball, but yambona coach lo Rivero ufaka mindset ukuthi be ready on the bench. Bheka CBC how he's doing well. Bheka. Let me go and make another example again.
Time. I'm gonna give you 20 seconds because you've got over now. Andy.
Yeah.
I mean, at least.
Ufan Royen, Ulimel. Then now Munyai is doing well. So he mindset and the mentality to prepare Lava bench in good guys. If anyone can get injured, you need to rise up. You understand? Okay. So there's two different of rotation. Kone rotation change to confuse teams. Kone rotation yama injured.
Thank you for time. Thank you. Let me go to Endis. Endis, are you with me, Endis?
Yeah, I'm here, OT, brother. How are you?
No, I'm good. Endis, 2-0, Sundowns, Polokwane. What do you feel about that game?
Madibe ngohlobo OT. I-Sundowns from nane. Hey, idlala ibhola elihluke kakhulu under umanqoba. I think isquad ne uma ngabe uphethe isquad esifana nese-Sundowns, you need to rotate players. I mean, if you talk of equality, then everybody is ready. For me, I think i-Sundowns is very dangerous. Kakhulukazi uma ngabe uyibuka ngendlela umanqoba, if ujonga kule game the last game ebeyidlala izolo, athathu Ireland ambeka ngaphandle. That tells you ukuthi you want to see other players ukuthi are they ready now. If ujonga Light le score 2 goals, that tells you ukuthi abantu abahleli ngaphandle ba-ready yini. So i-rotation is very important eqembini because njengoba umfowethu kade esho lapho ekhuluma ngama-injuries, uma ufumana ama-injuries kuma-key players wonke, then what are you going to do? What is your plan B?
Yeah.
You see? So if you could remember, Coach Orlando Pirates was criticized ukuthi he don't have the first 11. He's rotating players. And if you look currently, what he did before, it is really helping him. If you're looking at what uKhahliso said ukuthi kubuya abanye ba-replace abanye, ubone lona eyinkinga elimala, ubone kufika omunye futhi ubungam-expectile naye esenza umsebenzi. So umanqoba Mnqithi for mina is doing very well. Is doing very well, and I'm afraid ukuthi kungenzeki lokho kwenzeke England the last season. Sibona i-Arsenal lapha isishone ezansi kade iqale ngepace right. Then when it comes to the finishing line, yes, when it comes to the finishing line, they were nowhere to be found. So it's Orlando Pirates indlela edlala ngayo, they really have to maintain ipace yabo, because one mistake, if they slip, Mamelodi Sundowns would just choke them and it would be the end. I think if you could remember Kaizer Chiefs under Ernest Middendorp. Yes, they played very well, and there was they were winning games, but right to the end, to the finishing line, they were nowhere to be found. So I think Umanqoba Mnqithi is having his Sundowns in a very good position at the moment.
Can I just ask one question?
Yes.
Could you argue Guti it's an overcorrection because Rulani might have lost out, but I think he played two finals, the semi of the CAF Champions League, and was almost unbeaten in the league. Lost on the final day to get his first loss. Maybe it wasn't his mistake, Guti. Maybe he wasn't giving these players 20 minutes, 30 minutes to come in and play when they've won games or when games are a certain way. Whereas now Umanqoba is changing everything. Is it an overcorrection? Maybe.
Yes, people would think like that, OT. You see, if you're looking at the squad as Rulani, Begane team one. So if you're looking at the domestic cup, if you're looking at ama-domestic cup, i-Orlando Pirates beat him twice. So that tells you ukuthi Rivera was too clever to actually realize that, this is how this guy play. He don't have plan B, even if he got the plan B, but he's still using the very same players. And Rivera was able to utilize each and every space Sundowns base sebenza. If you remember his first season, he beat Sundowns, how many goals? 3-0. If you could remember on the MTN 8, 3-0. Yes, Saleng was all over the ball on that day. So that tells you ukuthi coach fanele ukuthi abe well educated and experienced about football when you are coaching a big club. So now what Mangoba, people will say it's an overcorrection or whatever you call it, but Mangoba is doing now what an experienced coach should do: rotate players. Yes, get the quality, because people will say you got the quality, but now do you actually do it? I would say we are in gaming lento khulunywa ngayo, or you are just there because siyakwazi ukuthi wena ubuhleli uyiquality. If uMotaung udlala lapha siyazi ukuthi uMotaung no udlala ku Sundowns adlale ku bafana. Is there any player that can bench uMotaung? So that's what George Rivelo did on Orlando Pirates. If you look now, everybody is complete, because now even we are comparing Sundowns and Orlando Pirates, even though now we are talking about Sundowns, but it comes at some point it comes to a comparison. So now you look at Mangoba is doing exactly what Rivera was doing during Coach Rulani's time.
Okay. Yes. For time. I just have to jump in there. Thank you, Bandis. Let me go to Agent. Agent, welcome, my brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
No, I'm good. Agent 2-0, Polokwane. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, Lola di salary. But what are home helaga?
Red Kokele.
Time, agent. But let me first start by the last question. Actually, if I go to the game, I think we need to realize that Sundowns is playing these games. Sundowns is gonna play AFCON, and then the Champions League, and then the Club World Cup, and then the season begins. So Sundowns is not gonna have a pre-season. So I think we have to rotate, and rotate heavily, And I'm against comparing Pirates and Sundowns because they have two separate fixtures. Because they can't afford to do partial rotation because of the fixture. We know that right now they're on a break. They've joined their neighbors. January also, they're going to be on a break. Some of the stars are going to be what are they called? Ball boys and water boys, so still they'll be rested, and they don't have Club World Cup, so they can't afford to play or have partial rotation. And for me, I am for rotation, whether it's partial or it's full, so I think that's the first thing. And quality matters OT, Real Madrid is the most valuable club in terms of players, Man City also, there's a reason why they're dominating, Ahly, his budget is 1 billion rands annually. Zamalek is around 500 million rands, followed by Experience Tunis, which is around 350 million. So you have to spend heavily, and I see people crying about this, a 60 million player, like, no, you guys are still playing. Ahly can sign 120 million rands player, but anyways, onto the game. And before I go to the game, actually, sometimes when people are doing good, I should commend them, because I'm one of the harshest critics of Sundowns player management. I think I was glad to see that three things actually. First, I was glad to see visible security, even though I feel like they could do more, but I feel like the security was a bit good. And also prohibiting of smoking, because there is smoking areas. So I'm glad they prohibited that, because it is a family game, so that was another thing. Another thing which I don't like, because for some of us who want to have an eye view at disadvantage, but I get it, they've closed the grandstands. What Paris does is they close the grandstands. I don't know if you've realized Paris grandstands, the ones up top, they always close them so that the lower areas get full, So I think they're coping from that, and it's good, so that at least You're not called 57, you know, but it's fine. And I need new enemies. You see, I can't even banter. Tyler is on my side. Guys, it's not nice. It's not nice. But onto the game, I think I was impressed by Ole Tlhakwe. I've always maintained that Ole Tlhakwe is far ahead of Mabena in terms of maturity, in terms of playing for men's football. So he proved me right. And I've said about sales that don't use a life science marking key on a maths paper 3 question paper, because that student's gonna get 0, you know, because you're using the wrong marking key. Judge him in terms of playing, making the team play and assist. I don't think he's gonna score. The moment you think he's gonna score, you're gonna misjudge him. The same way people misjudge Allende because he wasn't assisting. It's only later they realize that no, this is not the type of midfielder that will assist, but he will make the team play. You know, there is that. And Sundowns have always had a slow defense. I don't recall Sundowns having a fast defense. I don't know. I don't know if you could call anyone who has fast to defend the Sundowns. I don't know. It has always been us, you know. So we're playing a high line. So obviously our keeper has to play a high line also. So that's non-existent. And then who else was impressed? Mr. Vedra, you know, Jackie Chan also. I think we see why we retained him, and he deserved to be retained. Yeah, but otherwise, in khoza, I still feel he's almost closer and closer to being a first team player. You know, I just feel like he just needs to work on 1 or 2 things, and I'm glad that Mangoba talked to him, because during the first half he was not progressing the ball enough. That one, they open space for him, and he's not penetrating the space. But I'm glad that in the second half he was able to do that. So I was impressed by him. In terms of Polokwane City, I don't get why you played a police as a sort of a midfielder instead of a striker. I expected him to be an out and out striker, you know, especially at that highlight. People who were caught offside, which how can I think Dlamini, a police was never caught offside, but you expect police to be the one who's caught offside more. So I think I was disappointed in that. But then again, what impact did not having that coach have? You know, because didn't have that coach, you know.
Yeah.
So sometimes you need your coach to tell you, you know. So yeah, otherwise good game, 3 points in the bag, and we celebrate, you know. And yeah,
I want to ask you something. I'm going to give you extra time, but I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
This comparison of Rulani and Ukosh Mangoba, do you feel that it's answering the same question, if that makes sense? Like, I don't feel like Mamelodi Sundowns was losing because they weren't scoring, if that makes sense. Yeah, are we being unfair to both coaches essentially?
You know, the thing is, you get 2 extremes. People who are pro-Rulani and people who are anti-Rulani. Those who are pro-Rulani will attack Mangoba. Those who are anti-Rulani will defend Mangoba. You know, so there's not that middle ground where you can criticize and applaud both of them, you know. Because for me, I feel like Mangoba is being overly criticized for Rulani's freak season. It was a freak season. Look at Leverkusen. Just look at Leverkusen. They went invisible. Where are they now? Look at Raja. You know, because they went invisible. Where are they now? You know, so it's a freak season. It's something which occurs once in a blue moon, you know? And then on the other side, there are people who want to whitewash the good work that Coach Rulani did, you know? Because most of these players, you can see them that Rulani really coached them, that well-coached team, you know? So, yeah, and also I feel like the other people are complementing each other, you know? We were struggling to score under Rulani, now we are scoring, you know? Yes, we're keeping 0 behind, but still, even our defensive shape is not that bad. Like you said, we've considered 2 goals, you know? So I feel like Coach Mangoba is answering questions that Coach Rulani had or couldn't answer. And that should be a natural progression, you know? Your son is going to answer questions that you fail to answer, you know? So I think it's unfair on both, to be honest. But also when you know, Meaning, don't see the Springbok jumping up. It should come down. So I hope you understand.
Okay, no, I get you.
Thunder is from both of us.
Both of us. We're in the same area.
We're in the same location. Sure.
Thank you, agent. Yeah, no, it started raining this side. We're in the same location. Before I let in the next panel, this is all I wanted to say. Let's not distort stories. So, for example, we do this thing, man, when we speak about Coach Rulani. Coach Rulani's Sundowns was really good, but they were not perfect. A lot of those games were won carry last minute. They carry defensive, hey, they don't know what's happening, but they go last minute, they go home with the point. But at the same token, Mamelodi Sundowns' weakness last season wasn't necessarily that they weren't scoring goals. It was that the last 20 minutes of the game, you could take advantage of them. That's where they lost their games. When they lost versus ES Tunis, late goal. When they lost versus Wydad, that other time semi-final, late goal. When they lost versus Pirates in the MTN 8, late goal. Right? Not necessarily that they played badly or did this or that. So that's why I'm saying, Uti, I don't think the two answers, the two coaches can be compared like that, or that one was lacking and one was this, because that's what we have to look at. For example, it would be, in that case, it would be fair to say Sundowns has lost the game already in the league. Rulani didn't lose one until the final day. Does that make Mangoba a better or worse coach? This is what I'm trying to say here. But let me bring in the last panel. So that we can go from there. Okay, Uvusageko. I'd written down the people who are here. Oh, no, Uvus. Okay, Tanda. And then Gustavo, and then Lebza. Lebza, but it's okay. Let me bring in a new voice. Let's bring in Manuel. Guys, please tata scream. Let's also, here's the goal right here. Here's the goal. Even on YouTube, Kupa the super chat, go YouTube. Let me bring in Utumi. Utumi, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great, Brian.
Ngimnandi Tumi. Nice, Sundowns win 2-0 versus Polokwane. Uthini ngeke?
Hayi siqedile indaba izolo ndoda. Mina I'm happy ngesquad sami lesiwinile izolo. And then second, lineup yethu mina ngihlala ngisho ukuthi we don't have to compare abantu abasebenzayo lapha ku lineup. But ngiyamsalutha ucoach wethu lapho for lineup la kayenzile. Yasenza kwathina saba bantu lesikhohlwa ukuthi kwenzakaleni 2 weeks a week ago. So ngithi ngaloko hayi even ala player akawafakile I'm happy about bona. Because at the end of the day by changing the game. We won clean sheet. I believe ngokuthi nekufuna iyeko lentelweni ukuthi if makunama kuno goalkeeper omunye we are struggling to play. Siyahluleka ukudlala because I don't know ukuthi wenzakalani or else ngikuthi sebakhulile nalaba labanye labakhona. But I think lo mfana lona kufuna bamdlalise lo February.
Yeah.
He must learn something for kulo khwazana. Ku Roland no Dennis Onyango.
Manje, it's the same question that I asked Jose. Now that, okay, nice Sundowns is rotating and doing all of those things, will there come a time like Sundowns won't be able to rotate because maybe Pirates are still winning, maybe they're still chasing, maybe they want the Champions League, ziyawangale. Is there a time where we won't see this rotation happen?
Mina into le right ngakhona ukuthi le rotation yenzeka manje.
Okay.
And I encourage with some of the members or abanye labangayilandeli Sundowns, they must understand one thing ukuthi i-rotation angeke ukuthi ufuna uku-rotate ischeme nge-quarter of the season or half of the season so uqala uku-rotate ischeme uzodliwa because manje mina hayi i-rotation yakhe ngigrind ngayo because khumbula sinamagame amaningi kakhulu kumele siwadlala ningi so i-injury yas-affecta ubheka manje umshishi badlala ku-squad labantu balimele and then manje akadlali siyastrugglisha So mara although angekho umshishi akusho ukuthi ikhona team lengasisabi. Wonke lama team niyasisaba ngoba phela lapha siphethe bo Ribeiro lapha siphethe ama sniper pass. Uyabona? So I rotation ngihappy ngayo mina. I'm happy ngayo, just that we don't have to ukuthi labafana sibaphakamisa amahlombe. They must stay humble always.
Mabukeli Pirates, do you think that Pirates is going to be a proper threat for you guys this season?
No, iPirates ngeke be threat. I-right lokuthi be lapha number 1. I-right ukuthi be number 1. Amagame ePirates ewaluza this year before the end of the year. You lose one game, you draw one, you win one. I mean, just that ngokuthi bengafuni ukudlala number 1 manje. Just sibanikeze space man. At least bayivela lapha phezulu so kuyahlaleka. Ayinabungozi lento lapha kuyaphileka lapha phezulu.
Yeah.
Okay. But ngale kwaloko othi hayi ngigrand mina bafana.
Okay, no. Dumi, thank you so much. Let me go to Uvusi. Vusi, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, Uti,
man, ngimnandi man Vusi. Yeah, what's happening? Oh, there we go. Vusi, Sundowns 2-0 Polokwane.
Yeah, uthi man awuthi ngiqale ngilungise enye into yazi labantu bakho bazokubulala yazi ngiloku ngihleka zange nginga-analyze nebhola kamnandi labantu bakho bathi khala izitswiri anyway akusikho lapho uthi ebangibulela abantu namhlanje
ushembe ngibonile hey bar
uthi yeah name yazi i-Sundowns othi i-dangerous ngento eyi-1 you know when you are used to winning something and someone accidentally pays and then when you are chasing you are just laughing behind that someone ukuthi hallo i-pace agijima ngayo nale ngigijima ngayo mina ngiyazazi ukuthi ngigijima kanjani so these people they know their pace. I mean they are 3 points behind ilento le if I'm not mistaken behind the Sundowns. Yeah. So you look at the squad abanaso. Not to, someone said I'm captured when I said it's Sundowns in a squad. You look at the squad abanaso and you look at who are they chasing. Sometimes when we say class is permanent, it's ngayo lento le. It's form is temporal, but class is permanent. Pirates at the moment they are on form, but Sundowns is class. Let's be honest. Sundowns is class, and Sundowns they know how to play with. It's like mabedlali chess. They know how to play their game. You understand?
Yeah.
They can change at any given day, but still get the results. Look at the back four, the one that played against Chiefs. Yesterday it was a total different back four. And you look at that left back again. If they didn't want to start if they didn't want to start again. So you look at the quality that they have. I mean, like with Pirates, they are on form. They are starting 11. Don't get me wrong. Before they kill me, don't get me wrong. Their starting 11 is dangerous. But here comes the time when tshwane maybe gets injured. I hear them telling us about Ronan Williams getting injured. What about tshwane getting injured? Do they just to tshwane? Do they have the replacement? Is that guy, the reserve keeper, good enough to come and replace tshwane in that position? I don't think so. I don't think so. So, I see, yes, Polokwane came to the party, but I said it even yesterday, OT, Umatuludi, if you want to play in the national team, those kind of mistakes, you can't make it in that level, a schoolboy mistake like that, in that level, that's the highest level, OT. There's a schoolboy mistake in that. There's right backs that are watching him, and we've been saying how he's a good player. He's going to replace Motaung in that, but I don't see him replacing Motaung because from yesterday I said choose, and watch the space. Bruce will keep on choosing Umobi over him. He will never choose him because of that. I don't know what he was trying to do, was he trying to impress, but he's not Tito Maswangai. I think he was trying to do the Tito thing. He's not. You stick to your game. You do what you know. You don't do other people's thing.
So, is Mangoba, as much as Coach Mangoba's team can score, is there a greater chance of teams winning versus Mangoba's team? If you get what I mean.
Yeah, Oti, the chances are for other teams to beat the Sundowns. Let me not say let me just say Sundowns. They are very slim. Why? Because Umangoba is very clever. When he puts out the team there, in his bench, he's got some game changers. He makes sure that before he can even name his 11, he look at what he is going to have on the bench to say, if we go 2-0 down, if we go 1-0 down, are these people capable of going in there and changing that game and winning us that game? Yes, they are. Like when you put your Islanders, your all those good players on the bench, they're capable of going in there and win the game when you are losing, when you are 2-0 down. So he's always putting the team, but he's cautious to say, if I lose, I still have plan B that I will go with. Understand?
Okay. For time, I need to just jump in and let in Gustavo. Gustavo, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, Oti. I'd like to remain anonymous.
I
might touch some nerves.
Oh, nazo.
Ngadlala, but yeah. Oti.
Ay, ngimnandi but Gustavo na 2-0 man. Uthini ngale game?
Ngifuna ukuqala la. Those who are worried ukuthi Sundowns, Pirates. You know, it's nice. I want Pirates in this title race. You know, I want the two teams to push each other as far as possible. You know, but I think in the past 4 seasons, Sundowns in the league have only lost 8 games in the league combined. Right? Last season alone, Pirates lost 8 games. Right? So in terms of losing, don't worry about Sundowns. Sundowns is clear, especially with their first team. It's clear of any other team in the league. You know, it's clear of any other team in the league. So they don't have to worry about Sundowns. And what people are not seeing this, and I will emphasize this, what Coach Mangoba is doing or what he did yesterday is scary. It's scary to put out a completely changed team, if I can put it like that, and can pull out such a great performance. It's really scary, and it shows you the level of the other teams in the PSL. For Puluwane City that are at a third place, that means they are currently the third best team in the league. For a second squad of Mamelodi Sundowns to beat that Puluwane City side, that should tell you something. You know, the PSL teams should be scared. You know, because having 2 different squads is something else, man. Having 2 different squads is something else, and it's not something to be messed around with. You know, you'd have squads, and this will come into play when we go to CAF. It will come into play when we go into CAF, whereby we can leave players here, and when Coach Mangoba returns, all he has to do is go attend the game and just manage the game because he has his players. You know? So
Gustavo Nganchela. I said this last season in rulani.
Yeah, man. As much as we're bulldozing teams, we're bulldozing teams.
2 teams.
2 teams. It was needed. I won't lie. It's needed, actually. It's needed for any team that will be playing so many club competitions. You know? It would be needed. I would number 1. Warm up the seat. Warm it up. Because once we get there, we know what happens. Once Sundowns sits on that number 1 spot, it's not living.
Can I ask Gustavo? Does there come a time in the season where unzima to the point where you don't see this rotation anymore? Does they come, or does he keep rotating the whole season long? Because there will be a time when, let's say, if Pirates was able to keep up consistency and you can't afford to have slips, or teams might be coming back, like Chiefs almost came back in that game, Royal AM almost came back to make it a draw in their game. Is there a point in the season where you think Mangoba might be under so much pressure that it doesn't change? Because the chameleon, it was a chameleon beginning of the season, changing the way they play, doing all those funny things. Masayifika la kunzima khona. Sabona the same team for the last 3 months. Does it happen with
it will happen, especially if you see now we are only 3 points behind the Orlando Pirates. If that 6-point gap comes in, you know, and or a 7-point gap comes in, that's when you have to see, oh, okay, I have to be more serious in the league. I have to put on my best players, you know, and just to close that gap. Then I can do my rotation thing after that. Just closing that gap. You need to close that gap. Make sure they are not stretching it. Make sure they're not running away with it. Because once a team starts running away with the league, it becomes so difficult for them because they gain extra motivation. There's nothing scarier than a team that gains extra motivation in the last stretch. You know, so maintain that. As long as Coach Mangoba can maintain that gap, keep it as short as possible. You know, keep that gap as short as possible. Rotate your players, and it's beautiful what it's doing. And I fear Pirate doesn't have that because right now they're sort of playing their best players and they look bent out. You know, they look bent out. You know, and Sundowns still looks refreshed. You know, but it's gonna be a good season. It's gonna be a good season. Beautiful performance by the boys yesterday. Beautiful performance to see Uli Tlaku scoring his 2 goals. To see Arthur Siles getting his assist might boost his confidence. You know, a khoza there, a young khoza there in the centre back position. It's good. And I always say this when I talk about Kaizer Chiefs, that the difference between a Pirate and some of these boys, the difference between a Litlaku, a Rilem Fukeng and a Nkota and the Vilakazi, I think. Yeah. Those players, they play the wing positions. It's easier there. Then compared to Mdu, compared to a Zwane, and also at the khoza there, that centre back position is not easy. And playing in the midfield is never easy. You know, so stepping up in those positions, it's good for our football. It's good for South African football, and I think we have future stars. You know, and it's good to see Sundowns also introducing those boys. But yeah, great game by the boys, and
Okay. No, Gustavo, thank you so much. Let me go to Montana. Montana, welcome to the show. Montana. Let me see if I can help Montana out there.
Okay, hey, OT.
How are you, Montana?
Right, sazikhotha amanxeba fondini, hayi fondini. Ne-Arsenal ngapha zinezifo Chiefs andiyazi.
Kunzima man, siza favor. Kumele sifune i-team. Kula maliga amancane laba bawina every week ukuthi at least singakhali all the time. Montana.
OT.
Sunil, how do you feel?
Ubanjwa nazinachmani fondini ebusuku xa itemi yakho iluzile ebusuku. Yho. Banjwe inachmani. Yho. Hayi.
Uthini ngale game ye-Sundowns?
Hey, Sundowns, I've been saying, OT, that Sundowns it's a complete team. Even Gustavo himself or Velile can go and coach that team. That team was built by Pitso way back. Even Coach Steve, he never win anything in his life. He started winning cups at Sundowns because he got to a team that is already molded. There's nothing special. Even you, OT, you can go and coach them and win cups. There's nothing special about Mangoba. We saw Rulani is failing now. We saw Pitso when he left Sundowns. They are failing wherever they are because they got to a team that as a manager. The manager knew what they wanted with Sundowns. They signed quality players. The whole Bafana is in that team. You can look at Opas. You can take the whole Sundowns and take it to Bafana. They can represent us. That's what they've been doing. There's nothing special. Sundowns, because the last time we were praising Rulani, We're praising Rulani. Rulani is a good coach. Where is he now?
Yeah.
Where is he? Now we're praising Mangoba. No, it's the players, guys. It's the management. Let's give credit to the management. It's the management this guy that they didn't want is Flemmenberg. The Flemmenberg is the one who is instilling respect on that team to those players. Because you see where the saga with Mokwena, when Mokwena was Flemmenberg put him in his place that you are hired as a player to perform here, not to do this thing. You are not a coach. That's what is happening at Sundowns. The management has instilled the values, the work rate. You know, you are here, and those bonuses, you can't give out the bonuses because sometimes they pay those players. The bonus is what is it what khuthaza as players ba ziperform ola hlobo neza bonus ezinye item azikhupha izibonus othi ibonus nawe uyayazi xa kuthiwa isipani kufuna isitoko esithile once kuthiwe kubekwe ibonus pha wonke umuntu udlalela uqhaka umlenze because nansi ibonus.
Mara ngifuna ukwazi doesn't Mangoba get credit because before Akiwa Lento is one of the people or Akile with Upitso. So 12 years of the success of Sundowns or however long, Mangoba was there.
Yes, Mangoba was there, and we saw. Yeah, we'll give him the credit, a little bit of credit, but there's nothing special because he went to a team that has a checkbook. Because at Sundowns, each and every player that you want, Sundowns is gonna sign it. They're not gonna say no, the money is too big. We can't sign these players. Each and every player, you can't complain. You are given a job, and then you ask to a boss the requirements. I want this and that, and the boss give you that. Why you have to fail to a job when you have everything on your disposal? That's why I will start saying whatever that we praise Sundowns, I'll start by management. It's the management. That's why the other teams are failing in that respect, because every coach want to sign his players. That's what Sundowns doing. Even if you go to China and say to Motsepe, I want this China, Motsepe will sign that China. You fail at your own because everything is there. It's on your disposal. If Chiefs can start to listen to Napi and give Napi whatever that it wants, even if he wants a player from Brazil or from Argentina, and then you give him a mandate, once you give him a mandate with everything that he requires, then you can say he failed. That's what Sundowns did to Pitso. They give him every player that Pitso wanted. The team was started from scratch, and then they are reaping the fruits of their labor now. The team is structure. Everything is there, OT. You can go and coach there. There's nothing. You can put your system and everything, because those players have been playing. They are playing CAF. They are playing for Bafana. So look at Mokwena. Mokwena didn't play for I think 6 games, but he was given a chance to play. It's like he's been playing.
For time, but I'm gonna have to jump in.
Forever, even Motaung.
For time, but I'm gonna have to jump in.
There's no player in Africa that can take Motaung out. There's no, and that right back. That guy is a beast.
For time, but I have to jump in. Thank you, guys. Thank you to everybody.
Siyabuya uthi.
Nge-27.
Azawubuya makhosi. Bahleke intshaba zethu sizawubuya.
Guys, I'm gonna jump in there. For time's sake, this is all I'm gonna say. Guys, why are you guys making me defend Mangoba? I think that in his own way, Coach Mangoba is doing something that is very scary. The fact that I think the stat is that he's played 32 different players up to this point in the season. 32 different Sundowns players have touched the pitch to play for Mamelodi Sundowns. That is incredible. The fact that fine, he had his wobbles in the beginning of the season, I called it teething to say that he was still finding his feet now. Fine, you may wobble and have a loss versus Polokwane. But if you can play 32 players, guys, there's not many teams that can do that in the world. Real Madrid plays with a set 15, 13 players. Manchester City, for all of their depth, plays with a set 15 players. You might see the other ones in an FA Cup. Barcelona, we know starting lineup. All of these big teams, there's not a team that is able to do what Coach Mangoba has been doing up to this point. And maybe the league quality, you have to speak about it. You know, maybe the league quality is what we have to look at and question. But to have that, and to be fair to Coach Mangoba again, I think Coach Rulani and the Chameleon was incredible. Freak season, right? He brought something new. Coach Mangoba is bringing something quote unquote new. But let's not forget that this man has been with Mamelodi Sundowns through the Pitso times. He was one of the first hires that Pitso made, for example. So we can't take away the work that he's done to this point. But to go back to the game, I think what disappointed me was Polokwane City's approach to the game. And it's something that we might have to speak about through a full show. But I feel as though our coaches in the league don't coach to go win games. And Coach Puti, maybe because he was not there and he was feeling a bit sick and couldn't go to the thing, maybe our coaches need to start coaching to go and take advantage of problems. Take advantage of weaknesses within Mamelodi Sundowns. You know the defense is weak. You've got Chauke and Apolis. Why is Apolis playing as a midfielder and Chauke standing not with the line to go and take advantage of it, but standing behind them? Abo Matuludi lava. So I think we'll have the conversation one day about those coaches and our coaches, especially when they come play against big teams. I don't think Mamelodi Sundowns, and this might come off a certain way, I don't think Mamelodi Sundowns is so incredibly unbeatable that you can't have a plan. I have said for now, for example, that Mamelodi Sundowns struggles in the last 30 minutes when they start making changes. They've struggled in a couple of games where maybe they shouldn't have struggled that way. And maybe that is the same question that they had when they had Coach Rulani. Back to the thing where I was saying, Coach Rulani and Coach Mangoba, is this the answer for it? Because Coach Mangoba is scoring goals. Rulani didn't score goals, but he won matches. So then what was beating Mamelodi Sundowns? The last 30 minutes of the games, the last minute. So when they're losing last minute in Jalo, and we're seeing that this Sundowns might be there to be taken advantage of there, our coaches doing enough to take advantage of that? But I don't want to end on a sour note. I'm seeing a very good point. Sales. I'm so happy for Sales because Sales, it goes back to the point that we always make here on the show, or at least I try to make here on the show. There's very few bad players. A lot of players are just not utilized to their strengths. We've seen Sales playing as a number 9 and coming in and trying to go strike, and he hasn't been playing well in that position. We've all been making fun of him. But now finally, when they played him into that 10, the drop 10 winger type role where he could play those passes and do those flicks and things, we started to see a player. And this is where I give Mamelodi Sundowns the most credit a lot of the times of a lot of teams in the league. I give them credit to say that they make the changes. Reyners was playing number 9 last time. Remember Reyners was playing number 9. And when Reyners was playing number 9, he didn't look very good. Then they did the wide thing and said, man, maybe if he comes off the wide channel and Matthews comes off the wide channel and Ribeiro drops in, we'll see something. We started to see something is scoring goals. So I wish that our teams could also, gain some of that perspective and use some of that thing to say, you know what, now that we've seen something, guy 3, guy 4, guy 5, must change. And maybe it's not to to go out and throw players away. You know, my team always says, or fans from my team always says, we need to go get this one, and we need to go get this one, and we need to go get this, instead of saying, how do we make it work with the guys that are here? And I think Coach Mangoba has shown us a masterclass in that. So Mamelodi Sundowns 2-0. There are 3 points behind the Orlando Pirates. I love that both of these teams are performing right now. I love that we're seeing a race. I don't know how long the race is going to last, and I don't know who's going to fall first, but I love what's happening in the league right now as somebody who's forced to be a fan of football because my team is somewhere else. Guys, Lindo, I believe the show has started. If not, it's going to start just now. So please head on over that side. Lindo Pep, if you have not followed, please follow Monday to Thursday, 7 p.m. Unless Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, Bafana, Banyana Style, and UWC, we're going to be watching those games too. They're in the Champions League right now, so we're going to do watch-alongs for those. I will be here watching those games. So the next time you guys are going to see me live is going to be on Saturday when I believe UWC is playing at 4 o'clock. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you to Papa Khosi, Lulu the Boss Lady, Pilogalova, Soweto Jen, Trevor. Thank you so much for the gifts on that side. Thank you to everybody that commented. The comments were going crazy. Thank you to those that jumped into the panels. YouTube, thank you for watching. Guys, I drop content, quite a bit of content throughout the week. So please go and support. Head on over and watch those things. Subscribe, share, and all of that. I've got a new channel that I've started. It's called 3 Man Press. It's me, Lindo Pep, and Football with Khalifan. We've currently released one of our episodes, or 2 episodes right now. So support us that side too. It's called 3 Man Press. I'll put in the links and I'll tell you guys, but just search 3 Man Press. And please guys, if you can please donate to the Capitec account. Tina, the things that we do, as much as it looks like we've got it together, guys, our rent and all of these things are sitting here. So the brands and all of those guys want to work with former players and all of those type of things. And it's salele move at Tinabanye, and it's getting a bit tough. So if you could please donate to the Capitec account and just give a little something so that we can keep this up. There's not many places that function like this. There's not many places where people can jump in. There's not many places where we can watch matches together and analyze. There's not many places where we can do this without it being somebody from Supersport or SABC or former player or former coach. So help us content creators. Ongani can help out. And if a lot of people give Ongani, that does incredibly well. I'm not asking for 1,000 rand donations, maybe just 20, 50 rand. Those things add up. So please, guys, help us out. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys then Saturday. Bye, everyone.